Welcome to Know You Matter. This is real conversations for people who want to feel a little bit better without being given a to-do list.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I'm the restoration coach and I'm Lauren's mum.
And I'm Lauren. I'm the restoration strategist.
And we are ever so glad that you're here.
Hello.
Morning.
I just wanted to tell everyone before we get started that I have a headache. So if I look moody, if you're watching this, that's because I fucking am, okay? I'm not actually moody. I just have a headache.
She's not moody. She is though. I just had a moment where I'm looking because Lauren likes to have topics and thoughts and stuff, and she just looked at me and I went, "What do you need?" And she went, "You to make a decision." I went, "Okay."
Yeah, I normally do a lot of pre-thinking, but this week has been a really heavy week on my head, which I think is where the headaches come from, between the nighttime coughing. I hate that. When, like, during the day you're fine, but then you lay down and you're like... I'm like, fucking, what's his name? Dick Dastardly's...
Muttley.
Muttley,
instantly.
What sound like during the night. And, yeah, it's been a busy week. A lot of things happening.
Well, a lot of things happening. Let's just be fair about what happened, because actually this week, which started for us on Sunday. Because
shit, yeah, I forgot we even did that. I wasn't even talking about that.
But I'm going to, because...
My God.
I know we had a big conversation about it in your car, because I was due to go off to deliver some training
in York.
and
in sunny old York.
In York, yeah, sunny. Which I was really looking forward to. This is the end of the first cohort of some leadership training that I'm delivering for a company, which I've really enjoyed doing. And I got in my car, gorgeous little Paloma, got in my car, and she made a little bit of a clunking noise as I reversed and then went to set off. And I thought,
if you've got an old car of any kind, or you ever have,
a normal noise.
You'll fucking know that fear that comes though when your car makes any sound.
Oh, and I felt myself, and I thought, oh no, she's done that before, but it was utterly freezing, wasn't it? It was freezing cold. So I was a little bit like,
well, it's just the cold.
It's all right. It'll just be the cold. She'll be fine. And she seemed fine. We tootled. Yes, and I do call her she.
She pootled. She
pootled her way down the road. We headed off towards Sainsbury's. Other supermarkets are available, but we headed to Sainsbury's.
This is not an advert.
Yeah, it's not an advert.
It's
just
accidental
in case anyone
product
says.
placement.
And I thought, right, I'll get some bits and pieces and I'll get some petrol. I came out of the petrol station. I kid you not, the noise. I've never heard anything like it. It was quite a loud noise, and I thought, oh. And then at that moment, I put my foot down on the brake, and it was juddering. So I mean, if we've got any mechanics listening.
Actually, if we've got anyone who knows any mechanics specifically who can work on a Nissan Figaro, yes. The old classic Nissan Figaro, the one with the convertible roof, because that's what's really hard to find.
Oh. Yeah, so I managed to get myself home, but of course I had a message from Lauren earlier. Saying to me,
it's because the weather was bad, and I know that Paloma's little, so I was like, look, if you need pudding, my car's called Pudding and she's class. I was like, just let me know.
So I did. But it turned into, didn't it? It went from...
Well, she rang me to say, can I have pudding? And me and my husband were like, yeah, we'll add you to the insurance. And then when she was getting dropped off, I was just like, do you want me to just become chauffeur for a couple of days? Because obviously, I don't know the last time you drove a manual. And doing that in the dark, in the snow, on your own, I was a bit like, it's a bit of stress and pressure, that, innit? And luckily, my husband's an absolute gem. And my son's in nursery, so I was just able to be like, look, if I go away Sunday evening, I'll be back Tuesday evening. And he was like, yeah, that's fine.
It's been a week, hasn't it? And nobody saw my face there, as Lauren was saying about driving a manual, and I was just like...
Yeah.
It has been a while. I'd probably be okay, but...
I imagine it's like riding a bike. I say that.
Beetle.
Because was that the last time?
Bertie.
Oh,
we definitely have a thing about naming cars, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do. But that was Bertie. Yeah, Bertie the Blue Beetle. That was the last time I drove a manual car.
That's a long time ago.
It's probably about 11 years.
Yeah, it's a long time ago.
I would be able to drive one, but I do think it would take.
But the interesting thing about the sentence, it's just like riding a bike, is that I went on my bike for the first time in ages recently and shit myself, because riding a bike isn't easy.
No,
the balance is hard.
Yeah,
hard work. I want stabilisers.
Well, maybe they should do adult stabilisers when you first go out for the first time or first few times to be able to do that.
It was tricky.
It was.
And, you know, people in cars are knobheads. I cycled to the library and was like, I don't think I'm going to do this again.
Well, that actually takes us to some other things that happened this week, as in the snow has arrived here in the East Midlands, hasn't it? And I know it's arrived in the West Midlands, and I know it's arrived in other places. And Scotland, if anyone's listening in Scotland, God love you, because you've had it for a lot longer, haven't you?
Yeah, I love you, sorry.
And it's just been wild. But is it Storm Goretti? Literally hit us last night.
Dunno.
So, yeah,
I'm just getting all my information from you, to be honest. Don't ask me any questions.
If anyone's watching, you can literally see this in Lauren's face today. Like, don't tell me, just tell me everything.
Do not dive into this.
don't ask me to want to.
Yeah.
Look at things. This will be an interesting podcast today, isn't it? Because Lauren's normally the one who likes to dive into things and to be able to have a look at stuff. So
yeah, it's been a So yeah, I was talking about the emotional tax of this week. But actually the physical tax of this week has also been significant. So it's been a week. Yeah. Interesting. And I am interesting. Sorry. Anyway, I think that's a lovely segue, because actually one of the things you wanted to talk about was the difference between the culture and, what did you call it? Physiology.
Yes, your body.
Because, and it's like, the example of today is, we obviously love recording you don't record a fucking weekly podcast if you don't enjoy it. But both of us, because I didn't tell you when you said it, I also had I woke up this morning and thought, I hope we're snowed in so I don't have to leave the house.
I had that thought too.
And I was like, actually, I don't know if I want to talk about that on the podcast, because I thought, I'll be honest, I thought it was a me problem. I thought I was just being lazy. But the fact that you said it makes me think that perhaps there's something different in there.
Right.
Which is great.
I love this, because I bet I'm not the only person, and you're not the only person, who, you know, whether it's snowed or not, actually feels a bit like hibernating at the minute.
Honestly, the thought of just getting a weekly shop delivered without having to think about it, staying in my house, in my cozies, walking my dogs to get a bit of sunshine during the day, but that's it. That's the dream.
Yeah. And it isn't like, so for me, a lot of my work's online. It's like, it's not that I don't want to work, it's not that I don't want to record the podcast, because actually we've always got a fail safe, haven't we? If we can't get to the podcasting studio for any reason, we record at home. We just do it on Zoom and we record it at home, and we've got it.
You've seen that.
Yep, you have.
You've watched.
We've had to do it. It wasn't that. It is this whole thing. And I find it really interesting. Bearing in mind, I'm really fascinated about how our bodies often seem to be the things. What that I said, fascinating. I've started the year. Yeah. I'm going to keep going.
Yeah, don't go on the tangent yet.
I nearly went on a tangent. But yes, I think it's that bit. I could feel it. My brain went, I need to talk about something else. But I think it's that. I think it's this fact that we live in a society and a culture that is like, it's Q1, you've got to make money, everything's got to happen now, and
new year, new me,
all of that. And I feel, and I went with it. I've gone with it for years and years. Yeah.
You'll see how I feel about all of that.
You look like you love it.
Oh, let me just take a little break. Keep hold of all of your thoughts, because we went to York, obviously, and Mum was training, and there was all of these people from this business that she was training. I didn't meet them because I was just the chauffeur, so I didn't go into the training. It was fucking phenomenal, actually. If you run a business, can I just recommend that on your business you book a hotel for the first day of the year? Because as much as we were about to talk about the fact that we shouldn't have to sort of head first into the year, the difference it made to me to be sat in a hotel restaurant working all day, it changed my outlook on life. So that's the first thing I recommend. Second thing is, I didn't know this man that got in the lift with me was someone who was working with Mum that day, but he got in the lift and I made a joke about, because there was only two of us, I was like, there's no way you're getting 13 people in here, and he made a joke back that I'm not going to repeat. And I laughed. Obviously, you all know that I laugh the same.
Let me do it so that I'll take the next bit, because this gentleman then walked into the training room and just went, I just met your daughter. He said, and obviously I'm aware that you had to be brought here in your daughter's car.
I had no idea.
He said,
I introduced myself.
Here's the thing though, even if I didn't know that bit of information, I would think it was really creepy that I suddenly was thinking, have you got a relation in this hotel? He said,
she looks like you and she sounds like you.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, you met a Lauren. And And he thought it was funny.
Yeah, because
and I did as well.
So the cackle brought that out. Anyway,
Yeah, most people did.
Physiology.
You're going to expect me now to regain control of this conversation,
100%.
aren't you?
100%. Let's go back to culture.
Actually, well, I think it's really. I want to come back to something that you said there, that felt. I felt something for me, which was when you said about this whole go book the hotel, what it did for you. Because I think this is almost, it becomes a bit of a fight in us that we think it's not okay to feel the way that we do about wanting to hibernate, and also knowing that there is a part of us that wants to get out and get things done. And
a duality, babes.
Yeah, and I think that's
we can
probably
experience it all, isn't it?
Exactly.
And it's just listening to the bit that we can listen to at the time.
And also honouring that there are times that, you're going to feel more tired. I was reading, some research. I know people tell us that they love the bits of science behind it. And a lot of the research is that our hormones are lower in the winter because we're circadian. I love that word. Circadian beings.
So the amount of light that we get is less. So our bodies
melatonin's
naturally want to sleep more.
Yeah.
Or even maybe not sleep more, because obviously consistent sleep is good, but just do less.
Yeah.
Like, so it's interesting that I always thought, and I still think, that logistically the school days and the work days should change depending on the light level. And I realise that in a lot of countries that wouldn't be possible, because it would mean that you just wouldn't go to work during the winter months when they don't get any sunshine.
I wonder how many people are thinking, whoop, whoop.
Yeah. But I do think that, because I think as in terms of human biology, people are just more productive when they've got the vitamin D and they've got the the triggers from the physicalities of us to get up and do stuff. Because it's like in the summer, you wake up and I throw the curtains open and I'm like, but in the winter, I'm like, it's still dark. Leave me be. My little boy gets up and opens the curtains and goes, the sun's still asleep. And I go, I know. He sleeps a lot in the winter, mate. So I do. It would be nice if that was possible.
Yeah, and it's not, is it?
No.
For most people, well, for the majority of people, it isn't possible. We know that the world that we live in, we've got bills to pay. Things have got to happen.
We live in a capitalistic society.
Well, of course we do, and that is we do. So it's not that we can all suddenly, unless anyone fancies that we just move to an island together and we just live in a different way. I think that has happened some places.
I think that's called a cult.
Okay,
I'm not saying I'm against it.
On that note, I just want to say this only because I am 6 episodes into The Runaway. And I know that you were watching last night, as I had a little bit of it on, and you want to watch it.
We do want to watch it. I haven't watched it.
So I've watched episode 6.
Spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. Well, no spoilers because I'm going into episode 7. But you just made me think of it because of the cult thing. Anyway, we've done
That's a bit of a spoiler in a good way.
Bit. I'm so sorry. Well, it doesn't. No, this person keeps saying it's not a cult, but it's very interesting.
Don't give any more information. I just warned you it was a spoiler, and you went, "No, wait, let me tell you more."
I will ask that we put a little bit of a spoiler in. Don't listen to anything about. I haven't really spoiled anything.
You haven't spoiled anything.
That's okay. I feel better. I was feeling a bit guilty then. I feel like we need to regain
hibernation.
I was about to say we need to regain some control over this conversation, but most people that listen to our conversations know there's not really any control.
This is the first one we're recording in the new year, by the way, so happy new year officially.
So I do feel a little bit like, I feel like I need winding up.
Like one of those little cards.
Yes.
Tick, 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 tick. And then
Exactly. So somewhere around me, Lauren, if you could find the little and bring in a little.
Unfortunately, I don't have that because I left my winch at home.
But yes, come back to what we said. It is definitely because there's less daylight. Our brain produces more melatonin, which is
the sleepy drug.
The sleepy drug. Actually, it's sleep and rest, because I think it's really important what you said. It's not just that actually we need to sleep more. We need to rest more. But I think that's why I wanted to talk about it, because I think it's honouring our bodies a lot more. One of the things for me.
Doesn't that make it wild that then, sorry to interrupt, that like January is like the get back in the gym month? Because if you're knackered, your body's going, look, I get that you've got to work, I get we've got to eat, I get we've got to do bills, but you're tired, so I don't want to get up before 8 o'clock in the morning. I when I get home at 5, I want to stay at home. I'm tired, it's cold, let me rest. and you're going, no, I need to go to the gym. No wonder we can't keep the habit, because it feels like shit. Makes so much more sense for April to be the new year.
Well, the science
Like the spring,
talks
like
about
21st.
end of February going into March.
Spring equinox.
Yeah, because that's where you're heading towards it. And obviously right now we are beginning, there is a minute, isn't it? Is it a minute a day or something like that? I love going on the weather app and watching as it starts to tell you when sunrise and sunset is. Like I've always enjoyed that.
I had an idea this year, which I obviously forgot because I haven't done it. But what I'd like to do is take a photo of the same bit of sky at the same time, so you can literally watch how the light comes. I just think it'd be beautiful to do that over a year. Somebody do that for me and then show me.
Somebody do it for me. But yeah, it is. And actually one of the big things is that our bodies, because of this melatonin and the way that we are circadian, actually it's trying to conserve energy.
Yeah.
So this, and I think I think the biggest thing here is that we're all different. Our body, the way our bodies work. It's just that this is the overall thing. So it's just understanding ourselves better, isn't it? And how often do we give ourselves a hard time, because we struggle to get up in the morning, or because actually we're more tired, or we don't feel like we've got as much energy to get out there and do things. It's like you said, that new year, new me, which I know we are not part of. For me, it's like new year. Actually, I really like me. And also that my body doesn't know. My body doesn't click over on January the 1st and go, hello, you.
I always think this about birthdays.
It's like, no.
Like, yeah.
Yes.
Well, and also considering, because one of the things that somebody mentioned something about winter being the time that the world goes to sleep or something like that. And I was like, how very white of you to say that. Because half of the world doesn't. Like, half of the world is in glorious sunshine right now. Like, their winter is our summer. And better than our summer for a lot of places. But do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't like in December everyone should rest. That's not what we're saying. Just to be, because it's just a very Eurocentric idea, isn't it? That it's like what we're doing, everyone around the world should do. It's not that. It's just that if you're in that winter in your actual seasons, that's all we're talking about.
We're talking about honouring our bodies.
Yeah.
And understanding what happens to us as we go through these seasonal shifts, because our bodies are seasonal.
Yeah, so for us,
Literally.
when we're in June, someone in Australia might be going through this seasonal shift as they go into the winter.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. And I think that's it, isn't it? We're not all in the same position across the world, for sure. But so some of the science that I was looking at behind this, that's one of the things that I wanted to look at, is that, so neuroscience and endocrinology perspective, so our lovely kidneys, dopamine, which of course is the motivation and drive, tends to be lower in winter. Serotonin, so our mood regulator, is more fragile due to reduced. I'm laughing, not at what I was reading, but at Lauren's face in that moment. Almost like, well, whatever. What you literally did? You not realise you just did that?
That's not what the face meant.
What did the face mean?
The face meant. Well, that makes fucking sense. Then.
I like that.
It was. What the fuck are we talking about willpower for when our entire bodies are against us?
Well, the nervous system's more prone to fatigue and threat sensitivity.
Oh yeah, so genius idea to start your HIIT workouts in fucking January, then, isn't it? Whoever came up with this marketing, can we just? I just want to talk.
But it is marketing.
Just want to talk.
Exactly.
It's like the fucking 10,000 steps. That's a marketing thing. You don't have to do 10,000 steps a day. 6,000 is more like a very good amount.
Excuse me, that breakfast is the best meal of the day.
Kellogg's.
Or the most important. It was Kellogg's. It is marketing.
Also, though,
brilliant.
I do have to say cornflakes are really good.
What?
I miss cornflakes. Not as much as I miss Crunchy Bran.
Crunchy.
I saw a box of Crunchy Bran the other day and I thought, do you know what I'd do for a box of Crunchy Bran? Anyway.
Right, so Crunchy. I'm with you on Crunchy Bran.
Crunchy Bran.
Yeah, please. Actually, Crunchy Bran. Who makes Crunchy Bran? Is it Kellogg's?
It's Weetabix. Who makes Weetabix?
I don't know. Somebody find out. But also, can you get
Nestle.
a note to them and tell them, can they make it for people who are celiac?
Yeah, make gluten-free Crunchy Bran. I don't know how the fuck you do that since the entire thing's made out of.
Good luck. But we would love it. And
Yes,
we would
please.
be your triers for it. If you want us to taste test, we'll do that. Right. So, it's coming back to what we're saying, and you just mentioned the words willpower. January, the big push, because that's what it feels like, doesn't it? It's psychological, not biological. It is where we're telling ourselves, like you say, to have big goals. And it's because the calendar resets is what happens as such. It's because, rightly, as you said, capitalism, Q1, it's like, right, we've got targets to go and get and things like that as well. And also because I have used this so often in my life, and I'm fascinated by this. The illusion of the clean slate. It's like reset, isn't it? It's like, oh, we reset everything. The calendar
like that,
started
though.
again. Yeah. See, that's the bit.
I do subscribe to the illusion of the clean slate.
Illusion of the clean slate.
Interestingly, I was reading. What was I reading? I don't fucking know. Maybe it was a newsletter. Maybe it was a blog. I don't know. Talking about the psychology of that though, and that idea that people feel more motivated on a Monday because of the illusion of the clean slate. So because you wake up on a Monday and you think you've got the energy to go, this is the week, like this. Even the beginning of the day is the clean slate. So in marketing, and obviously we don't do manipulation in our marketing, but to use it to sort of tap into that zone where you're like, actually, I'm a bit more open to possibility. So that's something that I was reading about that I was quite interested in, just exploring, because logistically you've got New Year, September. Love the clean slate of September, because for me as a teacher, like that was a super like good time of the year. Then you've got the week and the day. I don't think the month one is, because the months always just happen as and when, don't they? But yeah, I do love the clean slate.
I like the fact that you almost whispered it.
Yeah, I know. It's Friday, so I get a clean slate on Monday, innit? I don't need a clean slate though, because I've nailed this week, so thanks very much, everyone.
So I think it's why I wanted to talk about it is because there's possibly a lot of people listening to this who are feeling kind of, I love this word, I heard it years ago, discombobulated. Because of the duality of what you were talking about, that, we want to get on and actually, we're knackered. And instead of fighting it, it's honouring it.
Or what I see for quite a lot of people is that they had this idea in their head that they were going to, start the new year, start this week, build all of these new habits, and the thing is that for a lot of us, habits have been marketed to us incorrectly anyway. So you're facing a losing battle if you're doing it, if you're like, this year's the year that I'm going to do X, Y, Z. It's like, oh, it doesn't work like that. We've got to work with our bodies. You can't just turn around and change everything, and like we've got to be kind. But also that, shame that comes with. So for me, this week I was like, every day I'm going to do a 30-minute walk. Every day I'm going to and I didn't do this, but I kind of, because I didn't do like this is what I'm going to do. I wrote it as these would be some nice intentions to aim for. So I'm not this year going through the shame spiral, but in the years before, if I'd been like, I want to do a 30-minute walk every morning. I want to make sure that I have water before my coffee. I want to make sure, and I give myself all of these arbitrary rules that I think I should do. And then you get 3 or 4 days in and you realise you've missed one, and the shame spiral. So that's, not only if you're aware of the fact that the duality, but if you aimed for something and you feel like you've already lost it or whatever, like this isn't, that isn't a thing. Like it's not, you can decide at any point to choose to be intentional about anything. Like obviously we spoke about my word for the year, and we know that my word for the year is bold. But I think I have a second one, because one of the ones that I'm like leaning into whimsy this year, but whimsy is letting me be bold. So it's like allowing me to lean into that side of me that is colourful and fanciful and puts lipstick on, because why the fuck shouldn't I? And does a little bit of creativity before I do any work or whatever. And it's like, what do I want? What do I fancy? What's the spontaneity I can do right now? And I don't know my point for saying that. Oh, it was about... I post a thread quite often. It's the same thread, right? But it always does really well, because it's like people need to hear it. Like, you're an adult. You can do what you want. Like, you have free will. And it's not like... And I don't mean free will to be a twat.
I was literally in my head, I was like, we're not saying.
Yeah,
you
no,
don't
don't break the rules or the laws or that
Yes.
kind of thing. But the arbitrary rules that have been placed on us by society and expectation, you can break them. If you want to, go outside in the snow today, take a big mixing bowl, take a pot of double cream, make a little well in the snow, sprinkle some salt in it, put your mixing bowl in the salt, and whip your double cream until it turns into ice cream. Fucking do it. Yeah, I know. I saw it and I was like, I'm doing that. Add a little bit of vanilla. Go sit in the snow and make ice cream. Yes, please. If you want to get a twig and turn it into a whisk, I watched that this morning. Fucking do it. If you want to, do you know what it is? If you like, it's just little things. So last week we have a big card that we have hung on our front door because we've got two big windows on the front door and we live on the corner of a busy street. So it's like people just stare in. And sometimes I want to walk around my house in my pants, okay, in the night. So we've hung this piece of thing on and I was like, oh, wouldn't it be nice if that was colourful or we bought a curtain? So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to paint it. And I've painted a Mediterranean landscape. So now we walk downstairs to the Aegean. Like, why not? What can you do that's like, why not?
Can I point
why
out
not?
that your son told me he painted the water?
Do you know what? I heard that. He told me, because I told him it wasn't finished yet because I'd like to add some more bits to it. He was like, you need to paint a mummy shark and a baby shark. So there's going to be two sharks in the water at some point. He didn't paint the water. Didn't touch it, little shit.
I knew he hadn't, but me and Dave just like literally went,
Oh, did you?
Really?
Did you? Did you paint that? Oh,
really
good job.
well done. Mummy did the rest, but I did the water, he said.
Oh, that's so cute. So cute.
Oh.
But yeah, whimsy. There you go.
So can you define whimsy? What is
whimsy is things to be whimsical is the word that's in the dictionary because I actually had a look in the dictionary because I wanted the definition of that and I wanted the definition of curiosity. Whimsical is to lean into the fanciful and the unplanned. So the word fanciful really tickled me because like for me it's like, what's fanciful? What is it? Like, you know, if I want a dessert, instead of going and getting a bar of chocolate, maybe I'll buy a little syrup sponge pudding in a pot of custard.
something that's pretty and
yeah, like, or if I like, so I was writing like I was doing a bit of journaling, and whenever I got the urge to draw and to doodle and to add to it, I just did, and like I just let that part of me come through instead of the part of me that's like, we need to follow these rules, and they're not. Like, you know, when you're a kid and you're in school and you have to keep your pages neat, my body's still in that habit of writing a title. I still write a title and a date. I'm fucking 34 years old almost. And I still write a title and a date at the top of my page before I start journaling out for the day. But I'm like, what am I doing? Like, who says? Like, who says I have to do that? So it's tiny, tiny little moments, which is the whimsy. It's like, hang on. And it's hard to practice
because it's about unlearning.
Yeah, like it's going to take a long time to get there.
I think that's the thing. We think it's just about learning something new, but Adam Grant, who is the organisational psychologist that I love from New York,
yes,
his book is about unlearning.
Yeah,
because actually we've and that starts with noticing.
Yeah,
so it's almost like we jump into these habits or try to, and again it links beautifully for me with January, where it's this real. Can be. I don't think it's for everybody because there's a lot of talk about New Year, same me. You know, not this push anymore. It's really started to shift. I think the thing is when we feel this pressure, it's almost like we jump straight into these kind of things we think we should, and there's the word.
I was literally going to say that's the word I listen for in my head now.
Exactly.
So the other day when I was walking on the Knavesmire, there was a fork in the road. And my brain was like, right, we should go that way and go back. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I went, and I didn't go, well, I'm going to do the opposite. Yeah. I went, which one do you want to do? And I was like, oh, well, actually, I quite like 5 minutes longer. So I went the other way. And it wasn't a rebellion against the should. It was oh, hang on, that's what I normally would do. What do I want to do? So it's that, I think it's just the realization that in any moment where you have a choice, you get to make a choice. That's what I define this or whimsy as. Yeah,
I love that.
What does it look like for you then? Because as someone who, you know, you started this by saying that it's that duality of you. I know that you've said that you kind of want to. We've talked about you want to take it dead slow. There's like half of you that wants to take this dead slow and sort of percolate and take some time as we're going into New Year. And then there's another part of you that goes, but I think what's best for me is to jump in with 2 feet. Like, how are you planning on managing that then as we move into the next few weeks? What are you going to do to let your body?
So I have always done some form of meditation. But I'm starting my day with it, specifically, and the reason being that so when I wake up and I sometimes feel, and I don't know about anybody else, but on a morning for me is when I can feel a sense of anxiety, if I don't manage it,
like pull.
Yeah, what I've got to get up. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do the other. So I'm really noticing for me where I need to switch away from the telly, where I need to, my phone goes away. I'm just kind of watching what's happening and listening a little bit more to my body. And what I mean by that is I pause. So I'm stopping more. I am not giving myself a hard time if I'm tired. I will just rest and stop. And again, by that, I mean, I might take 5 minutes out and just think, I just need a bit of quiet in my head. I need a little bit of space. I'm also, though, making myself go outside for a walk. So there's a whole set of things. I'm really fascinated by countries that do have really deep, dark winters. I don't know why my voice did that, but it went deep. I love Norway. This time last year, I've actually got in honour of the snow my boots on that I bought to go to Norway in. And I love those countries. So I'm fascinated because they have more hours of darkness, the polar night, all of that kind of thing. So I was starting to read some things behind that. And definitely one of the things for me, and I know you do it, is to get outside every day. No matter what the weather looks like.
I have to be really poorly.
Yeah, it's really important to, and I was looking because I did a little bit of research. I've got some notes on here, because Finland is rated as the happiest country in the world. And yet, if you were to look at it on paper, they have, this real seasonal shift in it, isn't it, that happens. But their top tips are definitely one, go outside every single day. I love, because the Finnish saying is there's no bad weather, only bad clothing. And I would agree.
I do think in this country we're royally unprepared for anything below like 4 degrees.
Exactly. And one of the reasons behind it is because any light, and it doesn't matter if it's grey, it doesn't have to be bright sunshine, supports circadian rhythm. So that helps. And why that matters, some of the science that I remember reading about that, is that when you wake up and it wakes you up, it actually helps you sleep better if you've got natural sunlight or natural daylight in the morning, first thing when you wake up.
And it's why the blue light, so the light from your phone and your TV and your stuff, is actually really dangerous late on in an evening. It's really important that you shut down your phone as early as possible, or at least put that setting on that changes it to like the sepia tone. Yeah. Because the shift it can do, it can really shift the way your hormones react. And like for women of a certain age, it's actually quite dangerous. So I'm not going to say more on that because I haven't done the full reading.
No, we
yet.
need to.
We will talk about that.
We will talk about that.
But yes, yeah. So
anything else? Yeah. So they talk about, and this is a biggie for me that we've just been talking about. Respect winter energy. I love this. Don't force summer output.
Yeah.
And it's that, isn't it? It's like, actually, I have got more energy in the summer. I do have, and again, this is personal to me. I know that when I used to run marathons, it was harder in the winter months, and yet I felt great when I got back, when I was training and doing stuff like that. But it was always easier in the summer, and I always had more energy in the summer. So I think it's even just honouring that.
Your body's working harder to exist in the winter because you're cold.
Yeah.
So it's working harder to keep you warm. It's it's everything is already harder to exist in. So then of course it's just that like self-compassion. Ding ding ding. Sorry, I just wondered how long it'd take us to mention it.
Well, I think that's one of the bigger things that is missing for so many of us, because actually a lot of the people that I work with, they've got, like you just said there's these rhythms that we've gotten into from being younger you know, the clean slate, the header at the top of the page, I need to push myself, it's January. And it is this, I think what we're talking about today is honouring what's the right rhythm for us. And you can still work, you know, you can still do a full-time job. It's not about, you know, not working hard. It's not about that. But actually, it's knowing when to slow down. It's knowing when to stop. It's knowing when to take a break. You know,
maybe you say no to the plans you've got at the weekend because actually you're knackered.
Yeah.
Maybe rearrange something that doesn't need to be done until a couple of weeks' time when you've got a bit more energy. You know, it's like, and I think when you learn to have the respect for yourself, you don't get annoyed when other people need it as well.
I think that's it. That for me is a biggie. I've read so much lately about, you know, this whole thing about how we've become this, you know, society observing ourselves, so very self-orientated, and I don't think that is it. I don't believe that a lot of this work that we're doing is about that. I really see for myself and a lot of my clients that the more that I understood myself, the better I understood other people. The more
kinder I am to myself, the better
I am to
other
people.
The better a wife I am, the better everything.
And I don't think that means that we're not kind to people. I think people can be really critical of themselves and be kind to other people. We see that all of the time. I think that's really important.
Yeah, I wasn't unkind before this
Exactly.
work.
I think the key though is actually the understanding bit.
Yeah.
If I allow myself to rest more, if I allow myself to have my emotions and, you know, be a human being and be flawed, then I'm far more compassionate to other people about that. I understand when people change plans. I understand when people don't answer, you know, messages straight away, or all of those things. That's what starts happening. And I think there's some of that when we think about respecting this kind of energy, you know, and that it shifts at this time of year as well. So I love light. One of the things that they do in Finland is look at light being intentional, candles, soft light in the house, you know, that kind of thing. And I absolutely love that.
Well, also that works for us because we don't like big lights.
No, we don't. So warmth is layered, so physically and emotionally. So again, you know, we've talked about kind of, you know, there's no bad weather, just bad clothes. That's really important. But actually, I love this idea that I read that warmer bodies feel safer. So just that kind of sense that I'm looking out for myself and what is it that I need when the weather isn't great.
But that makes sense with what I said
else
as well about your body's putting more effort in. Interesting.
And this one, so actually this is interesting, bearing in mind that I know this is sometimes I need a bit more of this. I live in that world where I love being with people, and my God, I love being on my own. And that silence is really important. So to be in a space with people, can I just say, I would like to do the book club where you don't have to talk. Have you seen it, where people just go and read together?
I do want to do a book retreat where you just take a few books off your to-be read list and you literally spend the whole weekend just reading.
Yes. Can I bring my knitting?
Yeah.
Because it's not just...
Reading and crafting.
Yes, I'm up for that.
Retreat.
I think that's Blonde's retreat. We've been asked for that. Let us know if you'd be interested in doing something.
Yeah, tell us
that.
if you'd come. Hire a big house somewhere, a cabin.
So I want to mention this one because I love this.
Okay.
Sisu, I think it's called. SISU. Steady resilience, not false positivity. Oh, I love this one. And it means quiet strength, endurance and staying power. Not pushing, not pretending. And it is about encouraging persistence without burnout. And again, that comes back to what we were saying, honouring when you need rest.
Yeah.
So it's that awareness, isn't it? I recently had an incredible conversation with a client who really was getting in touch with their inner child. And it was fascinating when they asked this part of them what they needed.
I do that all the time.
I know you do. So really just bringing that. And I think it's absolutely, for me, it is so important that, you know, we understand what we need, because I think that's a lot of what I see for people, is that, you know, it's the needs of the bigger society. On our cooker hood at home, I saw it this morning, it's just stuck in my head. There is a little fridge magnet that you guys bought your dad years ago. It says, "I'm not hard to please. I just like things done my way." And it just made me think about what you were saying earlier, because we follow people's way because we think we should. People create rules, they create ways of being, and it comes back to your being whimsical, that and actually that we're adults and we are able to make our own decisions. And I think that's the part for me, that it's like I need to honour my own needs rather than feeling that it's always about other people's. So I feel like that's probably a good place to stop. That it's an invitation to everybody to think about, what do you need, you know, through January, maybe even into February.
And just hear that our year has already not looked the way we thought it was going to.
No.
So if yours doesn't, you're fine.
Yeah,
we're all right.
I didn't expect my car not to work, and she still isn't working. And also we've handled that in a far different way.
It's been right.
It has, but we are honouring ourselves, aren't we?
Yeah, to be a bit
sure. I think that's it. My word was investment, and it still is about investing in myself in a lot of different ways. And honouring myself, I think, is a biggie.
Oh, I love that. Oh, well, it was lovely to speak to you.
We always feel like you're there.
Yeah.
As we're chatting, so please reach out. Please talk to us. I know that we've said that we're gonna, you know, we're ready for guests in 2026. So we're going to be looking at.
Yeah, we just need to build the back end of that.
So we need to look at how we're going to build that and what we're going to do with everything else. Oh, thank you, because you will also have seen the story that we got 1,000 downloads and streams.
Yes.
So thank you very much for that.
Yeah, that's very exciting.
Yeah, Lauren now needs to stop. I can see it in her face. So take care, guys, and we'll speak to you next week.
Love you. Bye.